Okay, so today we're going to talk about Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego started off as a video game in 1985, released by Broderbund Software. And by 1986, the computer software company wanted to turn it into a show for television. Now, originally, they had went to an ex-cartoonist at Disney, but that didn't work out. However, a television producer by the name of Howard Blumenthal suggested that the software company sell the rights to PBS to create the show for $1. However, this would take 5 years, but in 1991, PBS agreed to produce 65 episodes for the first season at a cost of $3.5 million. Now, the first pilots were filmed at WQED Pittsburgh, while the rest of the series was filmed at Chelsea Studios in New York City, and from seasons 2 to 5, Kaufman Astoria Studios in Astoria, Queens. Now, the animated portions of the show were photocopied, faxed, and then edited on Macintosh computers. And in order for contestants to be chosen, they had to take a geography exam first. Now, let's talk about the casting for a moment. As far as it goes with the host, Greg Lee was a comedian, and I believe at the time that he was hosting a show on Nickelodeon. If not, he was probably doing another project at the time. But that's how he got chosen. As for the role of the chief, veteran actress Lynn Thigpen, she was asked to join the series, but she turned him down 3 times. Many of you might know Lynn Thigpen for playing Miss Barrett in the movie Lean on Me. After a while, she finally gave in, and the producers made it in such a way that she would be able to work on the series. You got to understand, 65 episodes. That means 3 months of rigorous work. So what she did was she pre-recorded her scenes. So everything that Greg did in the studio was live with the audience, and then her portions were played during the episode so that the audience reaction would be recorded, and then it was edited in post-production. Now, as far as it goes for the comic relief, the acapella band Rockapella was chosen, and this was after they were seen on Spike Lee and Company Do It Acapella, which was a television special that also aired on PBS. All right, so now we have the cast together, right? And so the show, as soon as it came on, it was just hot as a pistol. Everybody was writing about it. It was one of the new hottest game shows on PBS for kids. Now, the first episode aired in prime time, right? And after that, weekdays at 5 p.m. Now, in season 2, a young man by the name of Tahari Campbell almost won the game, but due to a factual error, he ended up being brought back for season 3. And what happened was this caused Lynn Thigpen to say her famous words, and that was, all geographical information was accurate at the date that this program was recorded. However, Tahari Campbell was invited back to play a new game in season 3 and won a trip to Florida. Now, in 1993, Jeff Thatcher was added to Rockapella as their vocal drummer. And also at the same time, Czechoslovakia was split into Czech and Slovakia, so a new version of the theme song had to be recorded. Now, many of you guys remember the dude that did the bass in Rockapella, Barry Carl. Before that, there was a gentleman by the name of Charlie Everett, but he left the group, and then another guy named Steve Keys. Both Barry Carl and Scott Leonard replaced these two gentlemen. And Steve Keys was originally asked to be on the show, but he declined. Now, one of the most unique things about Rockefeller's performances in between was that with certain segments, it was improvised. Now, if you guys have seen the pilot episodes, the original pilot episodes of Carmen Sandiego, you'll notice something different. The chief was wearing a green vest and yellow shirt, while Greg wore a red jacket. All subsequent episodes after this would feature the traditional red and yellow / teal jackets. The show also won a Peabody Award for set design. It was filmed right next door to Sesame Street. Yes, so at this time that Carmen Sandiego was on the air, Sesame Street and The Cosby Show were all filmed right next to each other. Now, on December 22nd, 1995, the series was canceled. And the last episode is infamous because this was the episode where lead singer Sean Altman's hair was cut by Greg the Barber, also played by Greg Lee. Now, reruns of the series would air until October of 1996, when a new series called Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego was created, with a new host by the name of Kevin. Now, although Rockapella and Greg Lee were not brought back, Sean Altman also wrote the theme song for that new show. Where in Time would only run for 2 seasons. But this show still remains a great part of history. You know, I wish it was on DVD so kids could just see it. Now, since about the late 2000s, most of the episodes have been available here on YouTube. But yeah, it's been an amazing show. Oh, also one more thing I forgot to mention. In between the years of 1991 and 1995, a cartoon, Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego, was created and released and aired on Fox Kids, I believe for about 1 season. But here's something unique that I want you to see. This is a street scene with Rockapella. This is the second pilot that was filmed, and you'll notice they don't have their dress clothes as of yet. They're just in street clothes. And you got to understand, this is the pilot. And so as you can see, Greg has on his red jacket. One of the other things that I enjoyed about this series was the fact that the jackets that the kids wore and the fedoras that they had, you know. Nowadays, kids shows, I feel like they don't have the same tenacity. Like this here was really about educating kids and letting them see, like, yo, it's fun to learn about the map. It's fun to learn about where things are, so that when you're talking to somebody, you can say, oh, well, this here is Madagascar, or this is France, or this is Texas, you know, because these are the things that you need to know. Anyway, thank you for joining me through this journey back in time. If there's another show that you would like me to talk about that was a part of your childhood, or just something that you've wanted to hear about for a long time and you've never heard of before, let me know, all right? Thank you guys for joining me. Peace.